Future Woody here. That's me in the back doing the pilot stuff.
Come on, man, do some of that pilot shit. Yeah, I got him.
It seems like almost everybody that gets into paramotors has the thought in the back of their head that they might someday be a tandem pilot, that they might take up their friends, family, kids, whoever, on the paramotor with them and enjoy the sport with other people. So I actually did it. About 2 weeks ago, I went to Aviator PPG with two goals in mind. One, to become a better instructor, mentor for the people around me. And two, to get Tandem certified. As a pilot, I have about 310, 315 hours. I'd have to add them up again. And that's actual hours, not bullshit hours where people guess and double their real experience. So the flying of being a tandem pilot wasn't really that big a stretch to me. Tandem flights are really just beginner flights with no acro and nice conditions. What I was really learning was how to care for a passenger, how to put the passenger's needs and safety above your own, how to keep his mental state and just making sure that the passenger was enjoying their time, feeling safe, feeling secure, and succeeding in this thing. On this failed launch, I'm the passenger. And watch my pilot, Ron, who's also learning to be a tandem pilot, sort of take care of me here. Bam. Did you see that? We're going to watch it a couple of times. It looks like a failure, but it's actually a decent reaction by him. Let's break it down. All right, here we are. So the wing inflates okay. For some reason, the sides come up before the center, but it sorts itself out, and you'll see that in a second. I'm in the front. My job is to run with narrow feet, and his job is to run with wide feet so that our feet don't hit each other. As a passenger, I think I kind of made a mistake in that there wasn't a lot of wind, and I was pulling like I wanted to be the lead sled dog and kind of running forward more than I had to. We trip. I do manage to save it, but he intentionally kind of takes a knee there so that he doesn't come crashing down on me. And that's something they taught us to do. They said, hey, if your passenger falls, you can't just run him over with this whole mechanism. You need to fall too. You need to take a knee. You need to call it a day, even if it means damaging your equipment. And we did slightly damage the prop in that. I'll show it one more time. So here we are. I think maybe I could have done a better job running narrow. And if I stayed more upright, like BB-8, the new R2-D2, the new Star Trek guy, that little ball, he just stays up. If I had just sort of been happy upright feet, I guess I'm not too bad, but we tripped up and my legs are kind of strong and I managed to stay on my feet, but he can't count on that. So he took a knee and saved me from potential damage. If I had been on the ground running me over, that situation would have really sucked. So that is what a pilot's supposed to do when it doesn't work out. This is just another example. I'm the pilot this time. I learned a couple of things, and one of them is I don't think I'd want to do this without a helper. I thought me and a passenger could just go flying and it would be no problem. Man, the helper is so important for getting everything sorted out, for getting us squared away. They help inform the passenger and just make everything safe and understandable. You really want a helper. And another thing I learned, I'm going to talk about the paramotor a bit too. I was pretty happy with the Tornado. This isn't mine. I think it might be Eric Farewell's personal motor. One, power makes launching easier. So the Tornado has tons of power, and that helps a lot. It helps us get off the ground instead of running for ages. And the longer you run, the longer the opportunity to screw it up is. And so it's nice to get off the ground. The other thing is the clip-in procedure. It takes ages. And we just did a reverse launch, we're about to here. It takes ages to clip in. And you're walking around with the weight of that motor on your legs. I was sore the next day because I think, I was the first pilot this day. And I just stood around for 20, 30 minutes, maybe longer, as we got all the equipment sort of set up and sorted out. So, man, a lot of power helps you get off the ground. But you stand around wearing the motor for so long, it's nice that it's light. Now watch this. We're about to get some lift. Right there. See, we're actually going up, maybe, or at least flat. And I told my passenger, all right, we're getting lift. Anticipate the sink because we're just going to get drilled on the landing. And my legs almost buckled, but we worked it out. It was totally successful. So that's the core of it. I got Tandem certified. Ron is the other guy. He's the pilot in this situation. I'm in front. And you can see I'm learning. I've got my feet real narrow and close to each other, and I didn't stop running until we properly got in the air. I can now take people for rides. As a matter of fact, the paperwork just went through yesterday or today. I have to check my email. So I'm like actually legit certified. I do have to decide if I want to buy this gear. One of the things I learned about tandem piloting is it's really a service you're providing for somebody else. You know, they asked Ron, my partner in crime here, where we're taking turns switching places. And they're like, "Did you have fun?" And he's like, no. Fun isn't the word I'd pick. I learned, we got better at this, but it's really a service you're providing for someone else. And unless you're getting off on that, like it's a really excited kid or something, then, it's, you can get fun through somebody else's experience, but this is a real chore. You're taking care of someone. We did a touch and go. You're really making, like, you're on top of somebody else's welfare. And I have to decide whether I want to invest probably another $7,000 in a wing and spreader bars and stuff just so that I can do something that's not really for me. And are there really people that want to do this? Like, I know my wife's not particularly interested. I dream of taking my parents up, but they're 70 and you need to make some smart decisions around that. Like maybe it's not a great idea to take them up. Maybe they won't be able to be a passenger like I was in this video. My license, and this is brand new, I can take people up on a tandem trike that just got certified like a few weeks ago. So maybe that would be the way to go if I wanted to share a flight with people. I don't know. I'm still mulling it over in my head, but I thought I'd share this experience about becoming a tandem certified pilot. I have a few more points, so enjoy the slideshow while I make them. One, my partner in crime here was Ron Turan of Lone Star Paramotor. If you want to learn to fly a paramotor, you can Google him, and he'll teach you how. He's a great instructor. Just take my word on it. He's got it all worked out. Aviator PPG, they're like the core, it seems, of almost the whole paramotor world. And they taught me to fly this tandem. Thank you so much for that. You call them, and they'll get you hooked up if this is a sport that you're interested in. I did ask Aviator, like, hey, are you interested in teaching other people to fly tandems? I see people chat about it online. I think, like I said at the start of the video, everyone comes into this with an interest in being a tandem pilot. You could help satisfy that need. There aren't many people doing it, and they're, I guess, tandem instructors, right? Not everyone is that. And they thought about it, and at this moment, Aviator's not really interested in teaching people to fly tandems. So I thought I'd put that out there so that you guys didn't, knock down their front door and ask for the same thing that I got. Thank you for giving it to me again, the training. But they just have so many new pilot students waiting that they didn't think that adding another another avenue of pilots, to start getting on a waiting list was the right move for them right now. It is interesting though. Like I'm really interested in entrepreneurship, so forgive me as I talk about that. Kind of like when you're an instructor, part of the revenue model is the instructing, and part of it is the fact that new pilots often need new gear. And the same thing would be true with tandems. Like they'd be selling wings, they'd be selling instruction and all that fun stuff. But it just, like I said, they have so much demand for their classes already that they don't need to add another demand source at the moment. So that's where they are. Don't nag them too much. But I'm a tandem certified pilot. That's kind of cool. One more thing. I got to say this. I'm sometimes falsely accused of copying Tucker, but in this case, I would be accurately accused of copying Tucker. I was just totally inspired when he went down to Costa Rica and got tandem certified. He was, I don't know, somehow it planted a seed that it was something that was possible. So that's when it got my gears rolling. That's when I started talking to Eric and Travis about this before his most recent uploads with his parents and Jacqueline. But Tucker definitely planted that seed. Him and another guy named Dana that's not para-famous really, but I talked to Dana about it, and he's like, you're totally experienced enough to do this. Like, you're the kind of pilot who would make a good tandem paramotor pilot. If you want to, it's a reasonable idea for you. And that just like sort of opened it in my head that, yeah, I could do this. I would be a fit for this. So I did it.